Sergio Perez might be loved by his fans, but he hasn't always been loved by the rest of the grid. If anything, he has been cast as a villain more often than not in his long career. His move to Red Bull in 2021 was well earned, and he is returning Red Bull's belief in him with impressive performances this season. Today we're going to have a look at what his fellow drivers, both past and present, think of him. Make sure to stick around because some of these might shock you. Max Verstappen has described his relationship with Sergio Perez as the best he has ever had with a teammate and puts that down to maturity. While initially he partnered Carlos Sainz at Toro Rosso, he joined Daniel Ricciardo at Red Bull in 2016 and following the Australian's departure, briefly had Pierre Gasly and then Alex Albon racing alongside him. I started of course very young in Formula 1 and I had, I think, also a very good relationship with Daniel, said Verstappen. But at the time I was still only 18-19 and I think where I am now as a person is completely different. So I would say what I have now with Checo is definitely the best, just because I've matured a lot. And I think that also helps a lot with just how you approach each other. We work really well as a team. We always try to optimize the car and work for the team, and we can accept when someone does a good job or does a better job. And I think that's very important because that's how you are respectful to each other. May the best man win in the end, right? Max might be incredibly complimentary of his Mexican teammate, but some of Sergio's previous racing partners haven't been quite so pleasant when talking about the Red Bull driver. In 2013, Ferrari were trying to sign Checo, but he decided to go with McLaren as Lewis Hamilton's replacement instead. His partnership with Jenson Button at the team was not an amicable one. After the Bahrain Grand Prix in 2013, Button gave a pretty brutal assessment of Checo's driving and probably hurt his career in the long run. "I'm not used to driving down the straight and then my teammate coming along and winging his wheels at me and banging wheels at me at 300 km per hour. I've had some tough fights in Formula 1, but not quite as dirty as that. That's something you do in karting and normally you grow out of it, but that's obviously not the case with Checo. Soon, something serious will happen, so he has to calm down." During that same season, Sergio Perez became notorious for his overly aggressive driving. At the Monaco Grand Prix, the Mexican driver was merciless in his stance. Somewhere close to the end of the race, he was battling Raikkonen, the two collided and Kimi Raikkonen got a puncture and was forced to pit. What could have been a strong 5th place ultimately became a disappointing 10th place finish. Speaking to the media after the race, some suggested that the older driver should talk to Perez and give him some advice. However, Kimi had a different response to how to approach the matter, and he said, "That won't help. Maybe someone should punch him in the face." It takes a lot to piss the Iceman off, but Checo definitely managed it back in 2013. Despite now being in his 12th season in Formula 1, Checo's first win didn't happen until 2020 when he was driving for Racing Point. He had been with the team since 2014, and although they changed names over the years, he had been a constant. In his penultimate race for the team, he thought that at the end of the season, he would no longer have a seat on the grid. At the time, Red Bull had not offered him a contract yet, and his contract with Racing Point was finishing at the end of the season. His teammate at the time was Lance Stroll, who was happy to see such a servant of the spot finally get his first win in what might have been his penultimate race. "In the end, I'm super happy with Sergio," said Stroll, whose dad owns the team. "He's got a couple of races left for the team. He's been up there for such a long time waiting for a win, and it came this weekend, so I'm really happy for him." After the race, another of his former teammates, Esteban Ocon, said he couldn't quite believe that Checo wasn't going to be racing in Formula 1 in 2021. "He's one of the top guys out there, and he can't be left outside," Ocon is quoted as saying. "It would not be normal, but sometimes the sport is like that, unfortunately, and you don't end up in the best situations." Luckily for us and Checo, Red Bull was so impressed by what they saw in Bahrain in 2020, they decided to sign him up for 2021. Since then, he has gone from strength to strength, and hopefully we can enjoy his driving for many years to come. What do you think of Sergio Perez? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And while you're down there, please subscribe to F101, and I'll see you in the next video.